before we do that, I'll ask us to observe a moment of silence so that for those that are praying, a moment of silence for a minute or so, then we'll always because I'll give you a moment of silence. Thank you. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I'll first introduce the team that is here so that you know who is who. And when you want to ask some questions, you can know who really that person is. I will urge the leadership when I'm introducing you, you raise your hand so that people can notify you who you are. In fact, I'll start at the back. We've got Mr. Joseph, Director, Examinations. We've got Mr. Mabona, Chief Director, Assessment Examinations. Thank you. We've got Raymond Yogati, he's the DTG, Curriculum. Allow colleagues to interact with the statement, clarifying questions. We will see whether we'll give you the one-on-one that you are looking for. In fact, those that are still looking for there is a paper that is circulating so that you can see who you're looking for. Thank you very much. Anything for you, sir?
Thanks, Mr. Njima. Let me first thank you for the opportunity that has been granted for the people of the province and for the sector in general. Let me first take my hats off for the top management that I'm leading with for the future of the kids of the province. Take my hat off for the council, advisory council, to the office of the NEC, the SGB associations, parents in general that have been outstanding in supporting their kids, making sure that they enroll and participate in the journey of 12 years that has culminated into this report today. Also appreciate the work that has been done through collaborations with unions in the space in education, organized formations that have been participating in reshaping the schooling system in the province. Academics in the form of the universities that we have that have got collaboration agreements and MOUs with the sector itself so that we can be able to make sure that we get the resounding results that we are talking about today. Let me also thank the legislature committees that have been able to monitor us very closely so that we can be able to achieve the targets that we have set for ourselves. And lastly, thank the media houses precisely for them for always putting us on our toes in ensuring that we always look into the blind spots so that we can be able to respond, have a system of governance that is responsive. I am then mandated to present the statement before you as custodians of the people of the province, and also to talk to the people of the province as to give an account of what has been our take in the national discourse. As you would understand that grade 12 is a national competence, and also every province must be able to locate itself in that particular context. The National Senior Certificate grade 12 class of 2022 is the 9th cohort to sit for the National Senior Certificate examinations based on gaps, with a significant increase in the number of full-time enrollments from 95,787 in 2021 to 101,588 in 2022. This cohort entered grade 1 in 2011 and had a fairly stable and conducive teaching and learning environment up to 2019. As 2022 academic year was ravaged by COVID-19 pandemic, there is a gradual improvement in the quality of the school-based assessment submitted to Umalusi for resulting, and persistent emphasis on the formative school-based assessment over the past few years has paid off. All said and done, COVID-19 pandemic posed an unprecedented challenge to the education sector as a whole. The current grade 12 class was not spared of the unavoidable teaching and learning and assessment disruptions in the and 11, respectively. In terms of the provincial overall pass rate, however, the class of 2022 did us proud with 77.3 pass rate percentage, a 4.3 improvement from 73 pass rate of the class 21. Given the high enrollment in the class of 2020, the total number of children that passed the national senior certificates stands at 73,386, making it 6,616 more learners passing in 2022 compared to 2021. In terms of the bachelor passes, the number of bachelor passes increased by 2.5% from 34.3 in 2021 to 36.8 in 2022. In real terms, it means 34,974 learners have a bachelor pass. 24,465 learners obtained a diploma pass, and 13,923 learners a high certificate pass. In terms of the subject performance across the spectrum has improved generally in the province. Of the 53 subjects that were written, 23 subjects have shown an upward trajectory, 21 subjects dropped by low margins, and 9 remained unchanged. The high enrollment subjects with no less than 10,000 learners for specific subjects exhibited commendable improvements trends analysis between 2021 and 2022, and it shows the following commendable subject performance improvement. For example, the accounting improved from 76.4 to 76.9. Economics improved from 7.4 to 78.6. Geography improved from 73.8 to 77.8. Life science improved from 70.8 to 72.2. Physical science improved from 62.3 to 70.5. Mathematics literacy improved from 72.3 to 83.1. There was a decline, although marginally, in 5 high enrollment subjects. Trends in the declines are as follows below. isiXhosa home language dropped by 0.2 from 99.7 to 99.5. English first additional dropped by 0.2 from 98.8 to 98.6. Maths dropped by 0.5 from 46.6 to 46.1. History by 2.1 from 89.3 to 87.2. Business studies declined by 5.1 from 80.6 to 75.5. However, the decline is equally important to design new turnaround plans that will eliminate marginal declines altogether. In terms of the center performance, the province presented 945 full-time examination centers, and their performance per center improved quite considerable. Noteworthy improvements are noticeable from the following categories. 38 schools performed at 100%, 0.1 of schools performing below 10%, and 8% improvement in the number of centers passing at 90% and above from 158 in 2021 to 233 in 2022. Districts with high enrollment and high and bigger number of centers automatically became our major game changers. And these are Buffalo City, Nelson Mandela, OR Tambo Inland, and Alfred West. In terms of the district performance in 2022 took a new turn with three districts performing above 80% in the province, and no district below 70% at all in the province now. The top 5 performing districts in 2022 are the following. Alfred West is the top performer, 9% from 73.7 in 2021. Buffalo City Metro is the second at 81.5, an improvement in 2021. Nelson Mandela is at 80.4, an improvement of 2.2 from 78.2 in 2021. Chris Hani East is the fourth at 79.6, an improvement of 10% from 69.5 in 2021. Amatole West is the fifth at 78.3, an improvement of 3.7 from 74.6 in 2021. Amatole East is the sixth at 78%, an improvement of 3.7 from 74.4 in 2021. The Chris Hani East district has become the most improved district at 10% improvement, followed by Alfred West at 9%, as well as OR Tambo Inland at 6.5. The correlation between the district performance and quality of their passes is retained in 2022. However, 6 of the 12 districts performed above the provincial average of 36.4 bachelor pass, and 3 of the 6 are newcomers to the top 3 spot, and these are Chris Hani East, Alfred West, and OR Tambo Inland. Here is the rundown of the district bachelor passes below. Buffalo City is the top district in terms of bachelor passes at 43.5. Chris Hani East as the second spot at 41.3. Alfred 8.2. Amatole East is the sixth at 37.2. Not a single district is below 30% in terms of the bachelor pass rate in 2022. An improvement from the 2 in 2021 of Jogabi at 27.3 and Oambo Coastal. And I think we must also note that for the first time in the province, there is no district that performs below 70%, which then indicates that your systems are beginning to mature and your systems are responsive. And equally, it then begins to tell you that the upward trajectory of the province is from below, making sure that you stabilize districts, you stabilize schools, and you stabilize even at the level of the subject teaching. Hence, we will give you the detailed information in terms of the subject analysis and also breakdown in terms of the percentages, because our strategic focus last year was not just about improving the districts and also schools, but which are these subjects that are a killer punch in the province. And which are these subjects that are more a game changer in the province? And if, for example, you are saying we are a province of maths and science, how do you respond to that question? Because the majority of the learners in the province are enrolling in maths and science. In essence, it means for you to break the cycle of underperformance and structured systemic problems of the schooling system in the country in general and in the province, to be precise, you need a specific target strategy for maths and science in the country, not a generic one. How to deal with that question. So I'm then saying that's how this top management has been able to make sure that we get where we are now. And I think the visit SG that this top management was doing around the province, knocking sense with principals of schools, high schools, knocking sense with SGBs, knocking sense with the universities in terms of crafting a strategic output on how to relate the basic education and higher education throughput that we need. Because if there is no dialectic link between the two, you run a risk of not getting what you want. And hence I'm then saying, in conclusion, I am proud to express that no learner was left behind in getting an opportunity to sit for the National Senior Certificate Examination in the province. And that's another thing which I was very happy, DG Jwakati, when DG Mwele raised this matter. Because yesterday, there is a debate that this DG raised that in the country, our strategic enemy is not dropouts. Our strategic enemy as a center, our strategic enemy as a sector in the country is the high failure rate and the retention rate of learners in the system. It's not dropouts. So, which then begins to say the level of access to education is commendable, and the level of commitment of teachers in ensuring that we deal with those kids quite profoundly and ensure that there is no kid that is left out in the process of teaching and learning. It's becoming a plus in terms of the system. And because this has been, SG, a debate in the past 2 years, whether the system is able to learners or not. And I'm therefore saying now that we have now in the country are indicating that no. The issue now is on how you drop the level of failure rate and how do you make sure that the retention rate of learners in the system, in particular in the FET band, is reduced drastically. So I'm therefore saying the key message that all of us we must be able to is that to all unsuccessful candidates, they must be able to be encouraged to go back and be able to ensure that they come and given a second chance. To all the successful candidates, the department wishes them all the best in their future endeavors and make this province and the country proud. The future of this country is in your hands, and make it work not just for you but for the entire citizenry of the country and also of the province. Let me then rest my case, Chairperson.
Thank you very much, Mr. ABC. I know I'm not. Thank you very much, Mr. ABC. Now, colleagues, we are going to allow a session for some clarity questions. Colleagues, there's a paper that is circulating meant by Mrs. Fava. That's why you're supposed to write whether you are going to meet it at this 1 month or not. We are waiting for you to finish up on that. Therefore, colleagues, we are going to allow you now to ask questions from the leadership through raising your hands. so that we can allow the space. Thank you. Next to you, Algoa. Well, let me say Herald, and you tell us who you are.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. My name is Andy Sana from the Herald. My question is in relation to the issues of infrastructure in schools around the province. There are still schools that are struggling in terms of infrastructure, mud schools, even those who are built by brick and mortar. Some roofs and ceilings and floors and furniture is broken. Are there any plans to improve this? Because people who've spoken to about these results are saying, seeing these improvements, imagine if now the infrastructure was in good state. The improvement would have been even better compared to if the infrastructure was good. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Tulisila Mapongwana from Algo FM. My question is with regards to the school that received a 0% pass rate. I just want to know what went wrong. Were there no teachers? It makes no sense that all of the pupils in grade 12 would fail.
Thank you. Can you pass it to Daily News? Thank you.
I'm already going to second transmitted program.
Thank you. We hand it over to you, Mr. SG and Mr. Nisi. Thank you.
Okay, so the school that received 0% pass rate, what happened? Were there no teachers or?
Perhaps we should add an issue that answers what everybody is going to do, because is there anyone, colleagues? Let's allow the first round, and then if there are any, we allow colleagues to do the second round. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Director. Good morning, members of the media and colleagues. So on the first question, on the infrastructure, we have identified that as our major problem as a department, and we felt that the approach that we've been using in the past in dealing with infrastructure improvements was not structured. And what is in the plans, in the UM and these annual plans, is not talking to the reality on the ground. Wherever you go, you find these dilapidated buildings, but when you look at the plan that we have for that particular financial year or a period of financial year, those other schools are not part of that. And we felt that we need to improve on that one. Hence, we have now introduced a structured program to deal with fencing first, and also ensure that we have this 191 that we are currently dealing with in terms of fencing this year. We then identified 10 schools per district to make 120 for the beautification. And that program was just delayed by just procurement issues, but starting now in January up to end of March 2020, we'll be using artisans from the Department of Public Works to refurbish those schools. The intention is to finish that within a period of about 3 months, but also benefiting in the process your local suppliers of material, because we'll be buying material directly from the local suppliers, but using our own artisans to beautify that. So we'll continue to have that program in the ensuing years. So in April, we'll be adding to the 120. We might even increase the number of schools that we'll be targeting for those improvements. There are also schools that are doing so well, but we've been neglecting those schools, although they are high enrollment figures in terms of learners and also highly performing. But we tended to neglect them because they've got strong leadership. They are able sometimes to mobilize their own resources, although not enough, and we've been neglecting them. And we have taken a conscious decision this time around that we want to reward by ensuring that with those schools that are performing very well and that have got high enrollment, we also focus on them in terms of their infrastructure, and some of them even in terms of putting up hostels in those. One of those schools is this school that has been receiving 100% for the past, I think, 11 years now, Aperas. That school, we are currently starting to construct it from afresh, refurbishing the current buildings, removing asbestos there, and also putting up a new structure altogether, and later we will put a hospital as well in that school. So that is the plan that we are trying to reframe as a department to really respond to the ugly things that we have seen out there in terms of the infrastructure. And then on the school that received 0%, we've been out of this for quite some time now. And I think from the others that are performing, because we had, at some point, I think about five years ago, we had a dedicated program to deal with accountability issues in schools that are underperforming. So we had a spotlight on the underperforming schools, especially those that have received, I think, less than 60%. We had a dedicated focus, and we regarded that as underperformance, and we have put them in that program. And there's a unit within the department that is dealing with those, and also ensuring that we provide support. They also develop their school improvement plans, and they sign and commit to that improvement. One of the issues that is a problem around the poor performance is leadership. Schools that are doing very well are poorly led. Schools that are underperforming, in majority of cases, it's not that it's the quality only of learners that they get, but also the leadership that is provided in that particular school. That is my experience here in the center, not only here in education, even in health it was the same. In an area where there is strong leadership, you can see performance. In an area where there is no performance, there's always poor performance where there's no strong leadership. So I would say NASWA basically is a challenge that we will be dealing with. So we'll continue to support those. We also want, MEC will discuss this, that we also want to pull together a team of these best performing principals to set up some kind of a rapid response team to mentor and coach those underperforming schools. Because if they have done this in their schools, and we have seen it working. So we want to assist them in terms of replicating that, but taking a particular focus on the underperforming ones. The second chance program in the province, it's not that big. Looking at because we are beginning to see that there are those who did not complete their grade 12. but have not been able to be given a second chance to complete. That's why we still have a bigger number of those that are not in education, not in training, not in employment. And those numbers are also constituted by those who did not complete grade 12. And if we focus on this second chance, it's going to respond to that grouping of people that continues to increase because we do not have a very formidable program around this. There are universities also who are having this and we want to work very closely with them, and some of the TVET colleges that have started this and it's working wonders. So we want to work with them and also Department of Higher Education and Training to ensure that we really provide for this second chance program so that these learners can really complete their grade 12 and ensure that they get their certificates and then progress even to higher education institutions and other learning areas that they like to venture into. Thanks.
Now that we are done, I've just received some messages that one-on-ones will be done at the ICC because the Premier is already awaiting us there. So I'll appeal to colleagues that if we have any follow-up now, let's please continue and reach the ICC because the Premier already arrived. While colleagues are stepping out, we have agenda the media briefing. While colleagues are stepping out, Ms. Zim will lead you to where you can get your prefix back so that you can quickly go to the you can match while going to the ICC. We are beginning the award ceremony at the ICC. So we expected.
Saya bilang, ay kita sama-sama. Sepak Rubin.
Sianze ngoku apha tunaletea one on one.
Yeah.